Welcome back to the channel. Today we're back with the ranking videos, and of course we're talking about Wrexham Football Club. Today I'm going to be ranking every Wrexham player so far based on how I think they've done up until the start of the season in August to mid-December. We're going to be giving them the classical ranking grade system from A to F. There's none in F, fortunately for us, but before we get going, I think there's going to be a bit of disagreement, so at the end of the video I'd love to know your rankings in the comment section down below. Let me know who you think has been the player of the season, and of course if you are new to the channel looking for all the best Wrexham AFC content on YouTube, this is the place to be. Consistent Wrexham AFC content in long form on this channel is going to be consistent until the end of the season, so if you would like to see more of that, please feel free to click the red subscribe button. Let's go as well for 500 likes on today's video. Everyone watching this right now, make sure to get down there and click this like button. And without further ado, let's get talking about the pride of North Wales, Wrexham Football Club. So starting off with Arthur Okonkwo, I've given an A. Now despite missing the past 6 league matches, his statistics still remain at the top of some of the goalkeeping stat lists. That's how good his start to the season was. 8 clean sheets, the highest save percentage in the league, just above 80%, and only 10 goals conceded in 14 games. He is one of the best goalkeepers in the division. You know, we saw his quality last season in League 2 and he's continued it up a level in League 1, and it's going to be such a good addition when he does come back from injury. Callum Burton, I've given a C. Now I think it would have been a B for Callum Burton if he'd have played just 2 or 3 more league matches for Wrexham. You know, he came in for Arthur Okonkwo when he did get injured, and I think he looked really comfortable for the games that he did come in for. 2 clean sheets and only 1 goal conceded in 4. Of course that came away on his debut away at Stockport County, so he was really solid in goal, made a couple of good saves, and it is just very unfortunate that our first choice and second choice goalkeeper have got injured in the space of weeks. Mark Howard, I've given a C as well. Now even Howard himself probably cannot believe that there's got to a point this season where he is the first choice goalkeeper for Wrexham. He was probably going into this season thinking he would be the cup competition goalkeeper, the third choice goalkeeper, but here we are. Mark Howard is our current goalkeeper. He's come in for 3 games, 2 of those have been starts of course. He kept 2 clean sheets away at Burton Albion and on his League 1 debut for Wrexham at home to Barnsley. For our third choice goalkeeper, he's done a very solid job so far, and I think he will continue to do so for us. Ryan Barnett, I've given an A, probably our player this season so far, and I'm sure a lot of people can agree with me on this one. He is a wizard down that right hand side, consistent running, taking on his man, taking on the left wing back that he's up against, putting in that tricky cross, the step over, just constantly creating chances, and you know, he's finally getting the recognition not only from Wrexham fans but from general EFL fans that he does deserve. And if we're looking at his stats further, 8 goals and assists in 19 games. He's got the most assists in League 1 this season, and he's top of the list for chances created and successful crosses. He is our man for chance creation, and he has had such a good start to the season. Owen O'Connell, I've also given an A. Now I think he's thoroughly impressed for us at centre-back this season. He is a brick wall at the back for us and has barely put a foot wrong. I could not name you one mistake Owen O'Connell has made for the past 2 years in the EFL for Wrexham. 11 clean sheets we've got when Owen O'Connell has been starting in the back line. He's just such a consistent performer week in, week out, just goes about his business. We all appreciate how good O'Connell is, but I think he does go slightly under the radar for how consistent his performances are for us. Dan Scarr, I've given a B. Now I actually really like what we've seen of Dan Scarr so far. He's only started 8 league matches for us, but in the games he's featured in, he's looked really strong at the back, imposing, a good pass of the ball, and I think his aerial ability is his main attribute and what we saw most when he was starting for us. He was so good in the air, and you know, you can really tell that he has played that Championship football and the League 1 football. So you know, to have a man of his experience and of his quality as our backup defender on the bench is just incredible, and I'd say he's probably one of the better backup defenders in this division. Tom O'Connor, I've given an A. Now again, I think like Owen O'Connell, someone that slightly goes under the radar in terms of performances, especially Tom O'Connor. I think he started off this season really well at left centre back. Of course he sustained that injury a few weeks ago. Lewis Brunt has come into that left centre back spot and had a couple of really good performances, so it's very harsh to drop Lewis Brunt after the performances he's had. So O'Connor is going to have to fight his way back into the starting 11, but to have Lewis Brunt and Tom O'Connor competing for that left centre-back spot is only a good thing, and 2 really good players to have there. And I don't think it will be long before we see Tom O'Connor back in the starting 11, but yeah, I think he started off this season really well. A defender that you won't see winning loads of aerial duels, ground duels, just goes about his business very, very well. Solid defensively, good progressive pass of the ball into the midfield or the final third, and yeah, like I said, goes Goes under the radar a bit, but has been a good performer for us. And talking of Lewis Brunt, I've given him a B. Now, I think he's taken his opportunity really well. I think a B as well just shows how good he's been, considering he's only started 5 league matches for us. And I think in the 5 league matches, he has shown he's going to be undroppable if he does continue this form between now and who knows until the end of the season possibly. He's proved to Parky why he should be that starter. Lewis Brunt came out and said he was disappointed at the lack of game time he's had in a Wrexham shirt, but he's taken his opportunity really, really well when he's had it. Good in the air, just looks so composed. I think obviously away to Sheffield United on his debut, there were a couple of iffy moments for Lewis Brunt, but he's just grown into the starting 11 and grown into the system at Wrexham Football Club. And, you know, I think he's proved why he should be a nailed-on starter in this starting 11. And you can clearly see why Mansfield fans were gutted when they missed out on this signing. Max Cleworth, I've given an A. Now, an integral part of our impressive defensive record so far. I could have given all the defenders an A. Great on the ball, Max Cleworth, great at bringing it out as well from the back, progressively going forward, and you know, he's a good asset from set pieces as well, scoring 4 goals. I think he's got 1 assist as well. Still relatively young, and we know there is massive hype behind Max Cleworth, and the potential for Max Cleworth to be a very, very good defender is there, and he is a key player for us. James McLean, I've also given an A. Now, another just consistent performer down that left-hand flank. Our back 5 this season has probably been, you know, the best back 5 in the league. You know, we've conceded the least amount of goals, and to have the wing-backs in Ryan Barnett, James McLean is just an even bigger boost. 6 goals and assists from McLean, 21 chances created, 27 successful crosses. He's a workaholic for us, he's our captain, and he leads by example. I'm sure fans of other clubs don't think that, but he's a really good leader to have in this team, and again, one we are so lucky to have in terms of quality going forward defensively and his experience he brings to the dressing room. Seb Revan, I've given a D. Now, we've only seen small glimpses of Revan and what he can do in a Wrexham shirt. He's only had a couple of starts here and there, Burton Albion, Sheffield United, and I think Bolton Wanderers away. So, you know, we've only seen him start the 3 games, and 324 minutes in a Wrexham shirt is not, you know, enough to judge what the player he is and how we can fairly grade him so far this season, because we have not seen a consistent string of games for Seb Revan in the Wrexham starting 11. It's clear there's a good player there, but until, you know, we see 4 or 5 games where Seb Revan does start for Wrexham, I think a D is probably fair on this one. Matty James, I've given a C. Now, of course, it was a great addition by Parky, I think, bringing Matty James into this Wrexham squad on a free transfer. I think as well we can clearly see why he has been consistently playing at a high level in the EFL. Good pass of the ball, and has that footballing brain that we need in that midfield, that high IQ, passing, tackling, and just doing this simple stuff really, really well. And I think, again, I would like to see him stay on until at least the end of the season, because he's added so much to that midfield in terms of quality and experience. Andy Cannon, I've given a B. Now, it's definitely a high B for Andy Cannon this season for Wrexham. He started the 12 league games in League One and has registered 2 goals. There were some good performances from Andy Cannon at the start of this season, and he always makes an impact when he does come off the bench for us. A good player to have in this squad, and a good midfielder that will just increase the competition and not let the current midfielders stay too comfortable in their boots, because Andy Cannon is more than capable of being a starter for us in this starting 11. George Dobson, I've given an A. Now, every week without failure, George Dobson will put in a solid performance. He's taken the quality of our midfield probably from a League 2 quality to a League 1 quality. That's how much of an impact one signing has had on our midfield, in my opinion anyway. Like I said, he's taken it to a whole new level. He's composed on the ball and one of the best midfielders you'll find in League 1. We sort of knew the player we were signing in George Dobson, but in my opinion, I wasn't expecting him to have been this good and had such a big impact on this team. Ollie Rathbone, I've given a B. Now, 3 or 4 more starts for Rathbone in this start 11, and this will no doubtedly rise to an A. What an impact this man has had in such a short amount of time. Of course, he started the last 4 or 5 games for us and has thoroughly earned his place in the midfield, like I said, after a string of performances in the league for us where he's had such an impact on this team. Consistent running, good pressing, that vital goal as well at home to Barnsley. He deserves the recognition in the midfield because he has been such a good player for us, and he will run his socks off for 90 minutes and make sure the opposition midfield defence won't get too comfortable, because, you know, he's just such a terrier in midfield, constant pressing, full of running, and has just got a really good engine behind him, and deservedly won man of the match on a couple of different occasions for us. So Ollie Rathbone could possibly be up there for one of our best signings of the season. Elliot Lee, I've given an A. Now, I think some people will definitely disagree with me on this one, and when you look at the numbers Elliot Lee's produced this season, 7 goal contributions, and I can guarantee Elliot Lee feels like he could be playing better, and I'm sure Wrexham fans will be thinking Elliot Lee hasn't really been up to his best this season. You look at his stats, you look at the output he's had, 7 goal contributions, he's been directly involved in 7 goals for us, so you know, it just is a big impact. And I think if you are to take Elliot Lee out of the team at the minute, you would see a massive hole in terms of creativity and, like I said, chance creation. So Elliot Lee, I think, is having a really good season. He probably won't think it himself, because I think the last couple of games we've seen Elliot Lee play, of course he hasn't got on the score sheet or assist, but he's still a big player for us in terms of chance creation going forward and just creating the fluidity in the final third. Stephen Fletcher, I've given a C. Now, I don't think Fletcher, of course, hasn't had the impact he had off the bench last year in League 2, but that's understandable with the jump in quality from League 2 to League 1. But he still scored twice for us and causes somewhat of a nuisance when he does come on up front in terms of aerial ability and getting shots off and getting in and around the box for the chances created. So I think it's definitely going to be interesting to see what happens to Fletcher in terms of the transfer window. If we do bring 1 or 2 strikers in January, what the stance will be with Super Stephen Fletcher. But yeah, 2 goals to his name so far this season, and he's back from injury in the first home game back he scored, so let's hope Fletcher can continue to add to his goal tally. Paul Mullin, I've given a D. It's a real shame, but on this channel, we've got to be truthful, and I think Mullin has not been better than a D. I'd like to see him get a few starts in the starting 11 over the next couple of games, because it's a really busy Christmas period, and I think that is what Paul Mullin needs, a string of games in this starting 11. We saw he had the string of games when Marriott first got injured. He scored away at Rotherham and had, you know, a few good performances, but I think he just does need that consistent run of games, because yes, fans can have a go at him for not being himself and stuff, but we're only seeing Paul Mullin for 20 minutes per game. I think, you know, he just needs to get that run of games under his belt, and once he gets that 1 goal, all it will take is that 1 goal, like we've seen on previous occasions. Mullin will get firing for us, and I'd like to see him have more of an impact on the team. Last couple of games he's sort of shown, you know, somewhat of the old Paul Mullin. We've seen good pressing, you know, getting a couple of really good chances off, but just needs to find that golden touch in terms of putting the ball in the back of the net. And like I said, that 1 goal will hopefully spark Paul Mullin to go on and score many this season. And I think a lot of people say he's not League 1 quality. I think he is League 1 quality. I think he could consistently play in a League 1 team and score goals, but something's just not going right for Mullin so far. We've seen him in training, he scored plenty of goals, so let's hope he can just get that run of games and just something will click in terms of Paul Mullin's confidence and scoring in front of goal. Jack Marriott, I've given a B. Now, I think, again, this just shows how much of an impact he had in a short amount of time, the fact I've given him a B. We're really missing Marriott's presence up top. He had 5 goals in 9 appearances at the start of the season, and his presence up top was massive for us. Consistent pressing, unease in the defence, forced the defence into a mistake against Shrewsbury, and, you know, we started the season off a completely different player to what we saw in League 2, so hopefully we'll see Marriott back sooner than what we expect, and hopefully he can get back into this team, scoring goals and being that nuisance up top that we are thoroughly missing. Finishing off with Ollie Palmer, I've also given a B. Now, he's featured heavily so far for us in League 1 this season and has played a really important role in our early season success. He's got 3 goals to his name, and I'm sure Ollie will be looking to add to that in 2025. Again, he is that nuisance up top for us, does the dirty work, and, you know, I think he's had a much better season this year than he has last year, and he seems to be a completely different player, so let's hope that form can continue for Ollie as the season goes on. So that is it for today's video. If you did enjoy, make sure to drop a like. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Who's been our best player for us so far this season? I didn't rank the likes of George Evans and John Daddy Bovarson because I think they've only played 100 minutes or something between them, so yeah, we can't really judge on that. But like I said, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Make sure to drop a like, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and I'll see you in another video. Take care, guys. Up the town.